Yo, YouTube family, it's your boy D, and I'm back with another banger. And this one is a banger. True transformation. We about to warp my guy back into that mode. Call him Timothy Hamilton, because he is him after this. Okay, YouTube family. So first and foremost, we're gonna go in here with a 1.5 close, and we're going to start taking it down with the grain. Now this is gonna be short and simple, just because we're gonna take it down to a 1.5, get it to that length that we want, that our client wants for the desired look, and then we will start working our way into the rest of the haircut. This will be a low tapered C cup, lightly enhanced, and we're going to make sure that beard is squared away. So with that being said, I'm just taking it all the way around, all the way down, in all the areas, back of the nape, parietal ridge, and the crown part of his head, basically making it like a tapered look. All right, guys, so we're going to get into the thick of this haircut by creating our first guideline with our trimmers. That will be our bald guideline, to where we start tapering into the haircut, and from there we will continue to create a fully tapered haircut, taper on the sides, light taper on the back with beard work, and a little taper on there as well. So I'm gonna work by starting going down against the crane, cutting into it, cutting it down some more with my one, and then starting to create my first initial guideline after the bald line. So technically the bald line doesn't count, but if you do count it, then it'll be your second guideline. So with that being said, now we're just working our way down from our one open to one close, which essentially just helps create that tapered look that we want. And so with that, while we're getting that tapered look, it helps to create the blend that we're wanting for our client. Essentially, he just wanted a low taper, and that's what we're giving him. So in order to achieve that, we just have to really focus in on the details, just because of he hasn't had a root twist yet. So we got to really make sure that we're cutting in the right area, not overblowing the taper, keeping the taper at that mid-level right above the ear, and you can say the temple of the head. So that's what we're focusing on. We're using an angle just to kind of get out those heavy weight lines. There's more so towards the top of his ear, so I'm kind of focusing in on that, so that way we can make sure we blend. So I skipped my 0 guard on this one, and I'm going straight into no guard at all. And I'm just going to use the tip of the blade to pretty much blend this haircut to where we need it to be. The point of blended haircuts is basically just making sure that you have a well-balanced blended taper. And so with these educational tutorials, I'm really trying to focus in and hone in on what I can do to help the people watching and tuning in and supporting get better. That's what I want to do. So please, guys, please, for the algorithm, it's real simple. Like, subscribe, and comment. Thank you so much. All right, guys, so we're going to do what we did to one side to the other. And basically, we are going to jump around in this haircut a little bit, but I'm still going to give you the full detail breakdown of that. So again, our guideline, starting with our trimmers, creating that initial bald guideline, and then we're going to go in there and start tapering. I'm going to take a different approach this time, no guard, and I'm going to do it without the guard. And so we're going to create that first line of demarcation. Okay, I'm sorry, tongue twister. So then now we're gonna go into it, and we're gonna go in there with our one, and we're gonna start blending. And it's the same process, guys. We're gonna keep that thing right where his temple is, right above his ear, at that mid-level. I apologize for my shoulder kind of being in the way right here. I'm still perfecting these videos as I go. It takes time, and it just takes learning, but I appreciate you guys. So like I said, one open still, we're creating that and getting out those guidelines. You'll see, as I always will, readjust so that I can get a better visual of what I'm working with and continue to work my way through my process of elimination, of cutting. And then so by doing such, I'm just really trying to perfect that blend and blend it out. So we've gotten all that done, and again, now I'm gonna use the tip of that blade at an angle, and I'm just gonna slightly go in there and cut those hairs down, continuously brushing. And I call that the rake method. So where you take the clipper, turn it the other way around, and then you come down on the hair with the grain in a rake form. So the blending part here is always the key part, simply because you really want a well-balanced, detailed blend. And in any video I've ever made, you'll see me say that. For me, that is very, very key. So with blending, you always want to make sure that you just kind of just really blend it out and get the details. So I'm going back with my one now, and I'm trying to get a little bit of that heavy weight in his taper out of there just at the top. And you can see that's more so closer to his dread, but still we really want that to just be blended in. So we gotta really just, sometimes you gotta tap at it, just tap at it. Using the tip of that blade, whether you got a guard on there or no guard, and just kind of blended it out. And be sure to come down with the grain so that you cut the hair and just lay it back down. That is always key. So going through the formations of cutting is simple, but it's really a process, and repetition makes you better. As they say, practice makes perfect. They'll tell you it takes 10,000 hours to master that. So that's the part of the skill. Using my level 3 spray here, we're going to prep the hairline. And I'm going straight through with this cut, man. I tried to shorten this video, keep it simple, just to show you guys the finished process or product. And that's what my aim is. So going with the hairline now, after we use the level 3 hole spray, I always start from the middle, and then I either go left or I go right. For me, I usually go left because left was my weak point at one point, and then I just come back across to my right. But if you make that initial first line and follow that all the way to your vertical bars, lining up will be the easiest thing you do. It's just about perfecting your craft. The vertical bars are very key, and I always tell people combing is a very, very key portion of cutting hair. So stick to a print, take your time, be patient, focus in on your client's hairline and their cut. You can't lose. So for me, that's the biggest thing about cutting hair, is just having the process down, sticking to the script, staying focused on what my end goal is for my client and their desired look. So as you can see, I'm processing through this haircut. We've got one part done. We're getting through the motions. So now we're gonna go do the other side. And like I tell you, what you do to one side, you do to the other. So make sure you always turn the head to your comfort level, your client's head to your comfort level, to where you can make sure that you give them the best desired haircut or hairline or lineup or whatever it may be. But that's the goal, because you want your client satisfied, because that is your work, essentially. That's your work. And you got to stamp on it. You got to put your name on it. So really, really focusing on putting out quality work. And people be like, D, why you cut from the house now, or whatever the case may be. Like, a lot of people don't know, and it's on my YouTube. That's why I say like, subscribe, comment, check out my videos. But I've had a shop before. I've had my own suite. I've done it all. And for me right now, just where I see the industry going and a lot of things, it's better that way. I still do mobile barbering, which is a good bang for my buck as far as getting paid. So, but at the end of the day, quality work is key. So back into this cut, we're working on that C cup. As you can see, I've done the vertical bars. The biggest key about doing the vertical bars and the C cup is taking your time. A lot of times I tell people to stretch the skin and use the tip of that blade, use the T part of that blade. You don't need the whole blade. Work your way around. Start with getting an arch and then come back around and get it in. And as you can see, I'm using my hand to pull the skin down just to help me create crispier line. And then I will go in there and I will just detail it up. Same with doing the beard line. We're keeping that backwards of his jawline and lining it right on that. And keeping it at a good level to where that taper, it blends in and it creates a crispy line. That's the key part, man. I always tell people the details matter. The details matter. So for me, it's always crossing your T's, dotting your I's, paying attention to the details. You gotta make sure you see the details. So as you can see, I'm just fine tuning my work, man, making sure that my client is ultimately crispy as ever, but it's a quality haircut. So you can see hairline's finished, looking crispy. I'm gonna show you guys how I do enhancements. And so with me doing enhancements, it's a process, again, but it's a part of any other process. Now we're going to apply the tan line pencil. And like I tell a lot of people, with using the tan line, if you pay attention to women and how they use their eyeliner, it's the same process, even with making it thin. So the key is put it on a little bit heavier, not super thick, but like heavy. Just draw a thicker line or a heavier line. And then when you line it up, I'll show you here shortly how I line it up and use it. So again, we're using the enhancements here. I use the Red by Kiss darkest brown spray because it's not too dark. It's not too black, but it's not just brown. So if that makes sense. And it gives the best blend for the hair as far as color match without it actually just seeming like paint as well. And the dry time is cool, but you don't need a whole lot. Like I tell people, light sprays, real light sprays. So as you can see, we've got that hairline going, we've got the enhancements on there. So I'm gonna work that beard with my razor. Always stretch the skin the opposite way. Make sure that you have a clear understanding of where you want that line to be, and then just take your time and connect the dots. It's very simple. I really tell people cutting hair is definitely a skill. It's also a talent. But if you put them both together, you can be really, really good, effort. It just takes time to master something. So that's the biggest key. So stretching the skin here, pulling high on the cheekbone, getting that beard nice and shaped with a kind of round form. And then we're gonna just trim the hair off his cheekbone, all that excess hair. And what we do to one side, we'll do to the other. So same thing, opposite way. I create my line starting how I want as far as the arch, and then I go up, and then I'll come back down. The key for me is just that I continue to make sure that everything matches up from one side to the other, but I'm also keeping my client's beard where he wanted it. So once I create that first line, I kind of just can follow through, and then from there, we straighten everything up. And it's all about angles. It's all about just, practice, especially with the razor, but that's a key part of it again. So with the enhancements in the tan pencil, like I said, once you spray it on, hit your trimmer with a bit of a Cool Care spray, whether you use Clipper Side, Cool Care, whatever it is, same thing. Hit it, brush it off, wipe with a towel, and then go into your line and kind of thin that line out. You don't have to do too much. Don't be heavy-handed, just lightly touch it so that way you're thinning that line out to where it's not super dark. That way it creates a enhanced look for that enhancements for the spray. Simply because what it does is it lightens it up there and it makes it kind of a more of it gives a more focused look on that line, which just makes it more crispy. And that's the goal of it, is to enhance the cut. He didn't need it, but we just threw a little bit extra on there just cause. And then this was a YouTube special. So, when I'm doing my YouTube specials and you guys are watching the videos, I surely appreciate it. I really, really do. Be sure to like, subscribe, and comment again. But I make these videos solely for you. So this is our finished work, guys. Finished product. My client satisfied. He was happy. Crispy, fresh, all of the above. Nothing crazy. Nothing out of whack. Low taper with the C-cups, beard. And we kept it at that, man. We kept it at that. My client was satisfied. If you guys are tuning in, please do me a favor for the algorithm. Like, subscribe, comment. Tell me what you think about this cut. True transformation. Transformation Tuesday. Let's get it. Let's go. Love y'all. Stay blessed.